A security camera is supposed to be an eye in the sky to help police solve crime, but the security camera near the area where a man was hit wasn't working. While it's all boarded up now, you can still see some of the damage that's left behind. There's still some bricks on the ground showing just how hard the church was hit, and now the congregation wants the person responsible to come forward. At a certain time, these turn off, but there's a possibility they can be completely gone and wiped away from the city. City officials are considering a ban. Well, investigators believe the fire started outside and spread to the attic, and you can see some of the burn marks that's on the side of the building. Yeah, we spent the day with residents here along 14th Street and Kuntz Avenue, and you can see that some residents have their porch lights on, indicating that power has been restored. Now, I want to show you across the street, there's a tree that was uprooted during the storm, and it landed on a car. Now, residents tell me they're able to start the cleanup process since they have some relief from the heat. Yeah, that's right. It's Parents' Weekend, so there were plenty of parents and their kids out and about when the shooting happened. According to police, there were two people who got into a shootout with each other, and not far from there, the owner of Cincy's Steak and Lemonade. He was caught in the crossfire, and you can see there's still some crime scene tape here. Yeah, investigators say the smoke and flames were too intense, and the mother was unable to save her young son. They say she and her two other children escaped through the second-story window. It's not a ticket, but basically a safety check. You can either pass or fail from police, depending if you have any valuables in sight in your car. But some people believe this could cause more harm than good. That was nearly 2 weeks ago, and those students say they still feel the same. We're pulling out the archives and taking a look at what the world was like the last time the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl. Just to put it in perspective on just how long it's been. Yeah, it's not as many people here as it was earlier, but there's still a handful of people here excited and ready to party after tonight's big win. I want to show you some fans that I just met. They're excited and ready to party. And I want to pan and show you on the big screen, it shows Super Bowl bound, just showing how excited and proud the city is of the team. A security camera is supposed to be an eye in the sky to help police solve crime, but the security camera near the area where a man was hit wasn't working.
I'm taking this into my own hands, my family and I.
A cry for help in solving a crime.
Say something. Say something. If you came by and you saw this accident and you saw anything, say something.
Mikhail Landrum was riding his motorcycle when someone hit him and took off. While his family says he's fighting for his life in the hospital, they're fighting to find the person responsible.
There's cameras out here. I need the city of Cincinnati to help me, the officials, to see if these cameras, they should work. They need to work.
We took their concerns to the city council, calling each member on the Law and Public Safety Committee. Hi, this is Kendria LaFleur with WCPO 9 News. We got in touch with David Mann.
I'm going to file a motion to ask for a report from the city administration.
The cameras were also an issue this summer. A shooting at Smell Park in July left 2 teenagers dead and 3 others injured. Security cameras had not been installed, despite requests from police for months. Mann, who is running for mayor, says he wants to make sure the money you spent to buy these cameras isn't wasted.
We need to find out what the issue is. As I say, is this a pattern or is it just a coincidence that these particular cameras are out? And I want to know that. And then if there's a problem that requires financial support, then we'll take a look at the Budget and Finance Committee.
We also reached out to the city manager's office, which tells us it's also looking into this. For Landrum's family, they're pleading and hoping for justice.
I am trying to find out who hit my son. He's in serious condition. We're praying that he get better, that he pulls through.
Mann says he plans on filing a motion to look into the cameras at the next council meeting. Reporting for WCPO 9 News, I'm Kendria LaFleur.
She's like a part of my life. In the spirit, kind of. And I never even met her.
Lisa Halkett is referring to Joyce Thomas, the murdered woman from Ville Platte who she never met but whose death haunts her to this day. Halkett admits she and her brother-in-law were trying to steal from abandoned properties when they encountered a man at this abandoned home.
I hollered, "Hello? Hello? Anybody here?" And that's when he come out from the woods. And I asked him, "Do you live here?" "Are you on this property?" And he said, "No."
A man she says looked nervous.
The sweat pouring off of him, that man. It's like he wasn't expecting that.
She did not know it at the time, but that man was Philip DeWoody, and inside of that home, Joyce Thomas, who was still missing at the time. Their conversation was brief, but as they were leaving, Halkett says she heard something.
While we were leaving, I heard a muff like, And then he said, DeWoody turned and he said, "It's okay, honey, we're okay."
She heard the voice of Thomas, who was deaf and unable to speak. At the time, Halkett didn't know what to think of the situation.
Normally, if people were in need of help, they're going to say, "Help, help," you know? But she couldn't. And that was her way of screaming for help. But it was just sad, because if I would have known. I don't know. I just felt like, should I call the law, you know? But I was out being a criminal, and so I didn't. But it bothered me.
The family of Joyce Thomas gathered with the community to pray for her safe return during a prayer vigil today. She's been missing since Wednesday. As the search continues, an Opelousas man has been arrested in connection with her disappearance. She would later see DeWoody's photo on the news and called police.
In people's eyes, we're not supposed to be here right now because we're witnesses, and he could have easily hurt us. I felt like I had, if I called, I could probably give him a lot of information. Hopefully she'd come home, or if something happens, the family can be at rest.
She took police to this area, and while officers had a location, they still could find no sign of Thomas. But Grant Cochell's assistant police chief kept up the search. On his own time, he said he made that promise to help the family who reached out to him.
Then he said, "You mean to tell me there's nobody looking for my grandmother?" And that kind of struck a chord with me. And so I decided to come out on my day off and search.
Living just about a mile away from the scene, Assistant Chief Michael Buck would ride his four-wheeler to the area to search.
Came up to the back of the house. When I came up through here is when I noticed those drag marks, and then followed them around the back of this shed. And I did see her remains laying off in a wooded area, partially covered with branches and bush.
The tragic end to a search.
I pass in front all the time, and I always think of her, always. And it's just sad. That's something that'll never go away.
Meanwhile, Lisa Halkett says it's a case that will remain with her, feeling a connection to Thomas and her family.
I talked to the grandson, you know, and I contacted him and told him that I'm so sorry what happened. And he says, I'm not mad at you. My family's not mad at you at all. You helped, you know, you were a big help. And I just feel like I wish I could have helped more, but. And he said, "My grandma's your angel." And it's just sad. Like the little pearls.
And while time has gone by,
and the little cross.
Halkett keeps a reminder to never forget Thomas.
This one says faith, love. I think I see Miss Joyce as our angel. She was loved by so many, and I bet, you know, she looked like a lovely person.
Reporting for KATC TV3, I'm Kendria LaFleur. We're pulling out the archives and taking a look at what the world was like the last time the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl. Just to put it in perspective on just how long it's been.
Yankee shuffle. Come on now. Come on.
1989, a year etched into the memories of these two men.
I had hair back then. Except we got Joe Montana's famous 23-second drive. That lost it for him. But anyways, it was still a great game.
They're not from Cincinnati, but it's a tradition for them to travel for the Super Bowl.
For 6 years now, we've been coming to a city whose team is in the Super Bowl because as Lions fans, we're never going to get to experience it.
We're living vicariously through
We live vicariously through other teams.
You can call them a good luck charm.
We were in Tampa when they won, and we were in Kansas City, Philadelphia.
We were in Philly, they won.
When they won.
And we're in Cincinnati, so let's do this.
While they remember the Bengals' last appearance at the Super Bowl, they also reflect on how different the world is.
Yeah, you had to remember people's phone numbers.
So here's some facts we pulled up about that year. The World Wide Web was just invented. Paul Brown Stadium wasn't around. The Bengals instead played at the Riverfront Stadium, which no longer exists. President George Bush had just taken office 2 days before the big game. The Berlin Wall came down. It was also a year before the Gulf War began.
I did 2 tours over there. So that was my last freedom before I went to the service. Yeah, so that was my last Super Bowl I saw for a while.
While it's been a long road back to the Super Bowl, fans have continued to show their support.
Can't wait. See it with the family.
Oh,
You know, we're
absolutely.
3,000 miles away, so to get together for this every year is tradition. It's fantastic. Can't wait to see it.
Kendria LaFleur, WCPO 9 News. The power of the internet,
So yeah, I'm gonna book another one here.
connecting people in their time of need.
Just right. Greetings from Cincinnati, Ohio. We hope in some way that this helps you during this horrific attack on the people of Ukraine.
Ryan Messer has no intentions of staying at the Airbnb he just booked. It's a way for his money to go directly into the hands of those in the middle of the Russian invasion in Ukraine.
The beauty about this Airbnb thing, it keeps them a stream of income to help them rebuild, you know, once this horrific war is over.
He's no stranger to the app. He's a host in Cincinnati, but now he's helping other hosts across the globe. It's simple. Search properties in Ukraine and see what's available.
And, you know, you should really just click to see check availability. That way you can see what the soonest date is, because that's when they actually will get paid. A couple of them I booked a couple of times, just because now I've kind of developed a kind of a rare friendship.
And he's not the only one. According to Airbnb, more than 61,000 nights in Ukraine have been booked, generating nearly $2 million. The company says they're waiving fees and not making a profit off of this.
And we're also ensuring that the hosts who are receiving this support can get 100% of the proceeds. There's a real emotional connection that's happening between those who are giving and those who are receiving, and certainly in a moment that is so gut-wrenching.
Emotions Messer is feeling.
Getting on there each and every day and trying to find somebody else I can help. Oh, here it is. Already he responded. I pray God saves us, and one day you will visit us in Kiev.
In Cincinnati, Kendria LaFleur, WCPO 9 News.